built-in microphone. Built-in microphone. That seems to work better. It's not the headset microphone, but that just means if I get farther away from the computer, it'll sound like junk. So I'll have to figure that out.
I'm still not hearing it, but there's a little bit of
There's a delay, yeah. I can see it showing up on this. When I talk, the mixer goes up.
Yeah, it's going.
Okay, and the music's still there?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start this again. Again, it's only 5 minutes later. We're getting better at it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Saturday. This is what we're drinking today, Ruby Redbird. It is a Shiner beer. It is one of my favorite beers. It comes out in the summer. Happy May the 4th. I went over this huge thing when there was no sound, and the thing I just wanted to talk about was mostly the fact that we lost Peter Mayhew, and that's very sad. I only met him once. I met him in Arlington, which is actually close to where he lives, or used to live, and we were there for Pencil Jack, which is a comic book message board. It was a group of us who went up there for a Comic Con, and we were there to see Atreyu from Neverending Story, Noah Hathaway, and he either wasn't there or the line was too big or something, but we got to see Peter Mayhew. There was really nobody at his table, so we got to hang out with him for a few minutes, got his autograph, shook his hand, talked to him and his wife. He was a very sweet, gentle guy. His wife was very pleasant. I have friends who are part of the 501st, and they're big Renaissance Festival people and Sherwood people here in Austin. And they've done like a July 4th weekend at his house, and one of them knows or knew Peter very well. So it's kind of a sad day, as it happens around May the 4th too. So that's kind of a drag. But he would have wanted us to keep doing what we're doing. He loved his work. He loved reaching out to people, and if you haven't, he has a foundation that contributes to medical research and medical like compensation for people who are having trouble if they're having medical issues. So look that up, and if you can, donate to that. It's a good cause. On the agenda today is kind of an ad hoc randomness. I don't really have. I'm going to do a couple things, but not a real focus of anything. I'm going to turn it over to the build cam, because if you guys remember from last time, my son was on with us, and he, or with me, and he was helping me build a TIE bomber. For those of you who weren't here last week, this is what we ended up building, this TIE bomber, microfighter design of mine, which is basically it's a lot of the design from the original TIE prototype, official Lego set. And then I basically extended the fuselages and put the extra wings on it. So yeah, but he helped me by stacking all these pieces together. So I'm going to take these apart here while I talk for a second. So I'd also like to mention that I still have the owl up. It is still an idea set, and it's still requiring votes. So if you're watching this, please go vote. The link is in the description, and I would really appreciate it. I've got 30 some votes already, and the next milestone is 100 or 1,000, and I have about 400 days to get that. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. I've reworked the branch a little bit, and I'm hoping to get some better photographs. I've got a friend in my user group who's got a nice setup that I'm going to take advantage of, and get some nice photographs. So keep an eye on the updates for that. And if you haven't voted yet, please do, or please tell your friends about it. That's all I got to say about that. It's been a learning experience, the Ideas project, and I've never thought of actually. I mean, I have thought of submitting things to it before, but it has been a humbling experience. There are a lot of fantastic designers out there, and I've been really I feel like I've been put in my place a little bit because of how good some of these are. And I feel like even though I know people have said that they like the owl, it's obvious that this is sort of it's not I wouldn't say it's like a hacky thing, but I feel like I rushed it, and I feel like I could have taken more time with it. And so I've learned a lot. We've got our Technic connectors here. These are fun little bits that you can use on laser blasters and engine exhaust bits. So they go in here. Once we're done sorting this, I might pull up the webcam and show you guys the other thing that I've been working on, which is the Capitol building. The Capitol building is coming along. Still a little slower than I'd like. We have almost exactly 2 months to get it done. And that includes transport and all kinds of other stuff. Figuring out how to transport it and whatnot. So it's a work in progress, but I'll show you guys here in a second. We'll talk about that a little bit. Also, if you're just joining us, this is Ben's Brick Design. We usually do microfighter designs, and we may do some of that here in a second. I've got one pulled up. It's still the one from last time. It's still the Starforge, so I still need to figure out how to get these areas filled in. But also, I thought maybe we would take a poll from the group and find out which ship you'd like to see next. I've got a list, and I'll leave this up, and if you're new, just put in the chat. This is I could make a poll and put it in there, so I'm not really sure which one of these I'd like to do. Some of these are kind of obvious. This is just kind of a sleek looking, it almost looks like a Naboo cruiser. There's no description for this. If you have a photo of an ATHE, let me know. There's very few images of them, and what there are is kind of inconsistent. Oh, and you know what would help? If I switch over to the scene, there we go. So, again, this is where we left this, and I'll work on this a little bit here in a second. But this is also my 2 design lists, and you can see it's very long. But this should give me stuff to work on for the next year or so, once the Capitol's done. And you can see here there's a list of, these are all very Legends oriented, old extended universe kind of stuff. Droid Super Tank, something that appeared in the Clone Wars, and but it was, very briefly, it was just one episode, and it's kind of a big hunking thing, so who knows. But I haven't done a ground vehicle in a while, so maybe that'd be a good one. If you're in the chat, let me know what vehicle you'd like to see, and we can take a look at the list again, and otherwise we'll just kind of work through the ones we've already got, and I'll show you some other stuff related to the Capitol building. But again, happy May the 4th be with you. We're going to try to keep it Star Wars related, but again, we'll see what happens when we get going a little bit. So I'm typing this out. Hang on a second.
We think too much, feel too little.
So something I'd like to show you real quick. This is where we are with the Capitol building. So this is how we're going to build this out. Now, if you are not familiar with the design software Studio, it's free through BrickLink. And BrickLink is just a third-party site that you can order parts and in bulk. So they have a software that's basically a CAD program called Stud.io or Studio. So I used it to build the Capitol here in Austin, Texas, the state capitol. And this is just one wing. This is one side of it. And you can already see it's 11,000 pieces. So what I've been working on is getting my my user group here in Austin to help get the parts ordered, to volunteer pieces, that kind of thing. And I wanted to show you guys real quick. Let me switch this over to the build camera, and you can see on the model that we just had, there were several hundred windows, we'll say. This is what a large bag of 1x2 clear bricks look like. These are going to make up the majority of the windows. They're going to be either 1x2 or 2 tall or 3 tall. So these are going to be the windows originally. So these are going to be the windows, right? Hard to see with that in the way, like that. Those are going to be your windows. Originally they were going to be these, but we are going to do a little lesson in comparison shopping on BrickLink, because this is the original design. These were the original windows. These 1x2x2, 1x2x3 trans black panels, right? Panels with the supports on the back. But these are like 30 or 40 cents each, maybe a little less than that. These are about like 3/10 of a cent each, right? So when you have to order 1,500 of these or 1,500 of these, or several thousand of these, like 3,000 of these, it gets pricey, right? And so that's what we've been dealing with. I just had a bunch donated by one of our Lugga members, and I'm going to get some more donated by somebody else, and then the rest we'll just have to buy. But we don't have to get to the windows right away. What we do have to do, oops, I put that in the wrong bag. That's going to have to be sorted out later. Look what I just did, that messed that up. But yeah, you can see I've got, a handful of these now that I don't have to use for this project. So now I have trans black windows to use for other projects. So that's nice. Before I take the camera and point it over at the Capitol building, I was going to build, last week we had talked about, a friend of mine on the chat suggested that we build a Geonosian fighter for a microfighter build. I had most of the parts already, so I ordered the rest. And this is all I got. I only got one of 2 orders. So I don't want to shame the other shop, but this is what I got. So here's your unboxing video, or your unpackaging video for the day. And I'm not going to be able to do this without some sort of cutting tool, so we're going to have to try to figure this out, because I didn't bring any, I don't have a knife or anything with me. So yeah, what happens is a lot of times I'm not able to get the full order for the bricks right off the bat. So I have to deal with what I can get. So let's see what we got in this one. And this order was brought to you by, let's see, oh good, and it's taped together. This is very thorough. Again, this is going to be for the Geonosian fighter. I might be able to start some of it, but we'll see. I don't think I have instructions for it either. This is brought to you by, don't know the name of the shop. What's the name of the shop? Well, it's Ryan Granger. I'll have to look up the name of the shop. Let's see if we can do that real quick. OBS. We're going to go to scene. And we're going to look over here, and we're going to go to here. And again, this is your look into BrickLink. Oh, I'm really digging this music. Very, the dungeons in the first Zelda. I'm liking it. So, I'll log in here. And this is what I run into all the time with ordering several different orders at once for one thing, is now I have to wait in order to get it finished. No, orders. That's what happens when I run a bunch of stuff at once. This thing kind of slows down. All right, well, this has been shipped. I've already received this. So Cooley Bricks, thank you very much. That's where I've got this original order from. See if there's a store name here. No store name. Man, down at the bottom, Cooley Bricks. So shout out to Cooley Bricks. I may link to them in the description. I appreciate you filling my order. The other group I know is actually, I've ordered so much stuff from them. It's Kentuckiana Bricks. Every time I need something, an order filled, they usually have everything I need. So it was a little odd that they didn't have any this time. Or the complete set of stuff I needed. So anyway, back to this. This is, let's see what we got for this one. This is probably just some simple. So anyway, this is good. They send you, you know, you can tell they checked off everything, signed it, very personal. And what parts did we get here? To add to our already sorted Geonosian fighter, you know, some dark orange. Dark orange is always a great color. I'm really liking dark orange. These guys, I don't have a lot of these guys. These are the 1x1 hollow 1x1s. And these, I started designing microfighters 2 years ago. Year and a half ago maybe, and these didn't exist, these 1x1 brackets, let alone in dark orange. So that was, I was really kind of blown away when these came about, because I was using the minifigure neck pieces that would, you'd put them over the stem of the neck, and then they'd have a stud on the back that you could put stuff on. That was kind of like a little backpack. I don't think I kept the Geonosian fighter out, did I? So I can put all these in it. That would have been smart of me. Ray Speeder, Eclipse Fighter, Jedi Tie. Again, here's all the things. Hello, Hugo YT. How you doing? Good afternoon to you. Happy May the 4th be with you. We are going through a little bit of kind of randomness on this stream. We're not doing a whole lot of building or designing just yet. I'm just trying to put what I've got. Geonosian fighter, here we go. I'm just trying to put some parts that I ordered in their right place, and then show some of the big capital building that we're working on. And then maybe get to finishing into another design that I got going on. So again, Geonosian. It's like the difference between Kardashian and Cardassian, or Kardashian and Cardassian. So you can see I don't have a lot already ordered, so I think the bulk of it's coming from Kentuckiana Bricks. Shout out to Kentuckiana Bricks. They've been great for, I'd say, about 30% of the total stuff that I've got, all of my microfighters, all the parts from them. This is a nice shiny new dome. I haven't seen these in this color before. That's very nice. So we're all sorted with that. Some housekeeping stuff for microfighters. And we can go back to not building those. Fantastic. I think that's it for that. So what's up, Lego Geek? Hey, I wanted to say thank you, by the way, for letting me know, I should bring this up, for letting me know that Iceberg Bricks was running a contest. If you don't know Iceberg Bricks, I would suggest subscribing to Iceberg Bricks. He was running a contest in which he wanted to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and like 100 on Twitch. And he reached, you know, he got his goal, and then he ran a random number generator off his off the subscriber list. And apparently last week during the stream, and I was told by the Lego Geek as well as my son, who texted me and was like, "Hey, check your chat. I think you won something." And sure enough, I won the Apocalypse Berg. So I'm very excited about that. This is the second thing I won. I won the Mac Anthem off of Beyond the Brick, their site. Again, I think it was one of these like random like this Facebook post. So I'm super happy with the way things turned out. And Iceberg Brick's channel is really good. He does kind of similar things, with just live stream building, and he did a lot of videos from the Philly convention this past weekend, and so head over to his channel, subscribe, Iceberg Bricks. He's running a new giveaway now. I don't know if it's going to be like reaching a certain subscriber level or whatnot, but he is going to pull another RNG thing off of that. And yes, I have. I emailed him and gave him all my information, and he's going to be in LA. And he said as soon as he gets back, he's going to ship it off. So I don't know that I'll have time to actually build it when it gets here, but I think maybe one of the streams might be building Apocalypseburg when I get it. That could be later in July sometime. But right now I'm focusing primarily on the Capitol building, and I'll show you guys that. So, oh, you know what? I didn't flip over to any of that really. So, okay, so this is, and my cables are all tangled up. Forgive the jumping around here a bit, and I'm going to be away from the chat, so hang on a second. So this is the Capitol building that I'm working on. This is about as close as I can get to it with the wires. But you can see this is two wings. This is the east side and west side, and you can kind of see the 1x1 tiles there. There are 10,000 of those. And that's a little off-centered because the plates have shifted. But there are over 10,000. There's probably 11,000 of those 1x1 tiles. So this is just the east and the west wings. And you can see in the background, if I stand up a little bit, you can see the other two pieces of wood back there. There's 3 tabletops. There's a big one and 2 skinny ones. And they'll go in between. They'll kind of go in between this area right here. So the whole thing will push off to either side, and you can see how big the spines are there on either side. That's about as big as it's going to be. I just put those close together because they're mirrored. Now I'm going to put the camera back here. Build area camera. It's not minifig scale. It's so the minifig that is going to be scaled to it, and I don't know if I can pull this up really quick. Let me pull over to this, and let's see if I can get an image. I'll show you guys what it kind of looks like. So the model itself is 10,000 pieces. No, that's stupid. The model itself is 62,000 pieces, and the scale is basically, I use the top. There's a statue up top. You can see up here the statue. And this is what the statue on the top is going to be like. And it's going to be holding a star. I have to figure out a star for this. So the statue in real life is 15 feet tall. So this statue is 15 feet tall, which a minifig is 1.5 inches tall, which makes the conversion about 1 inch per every 10 feet. So it works out pretty well. This is going to be about, the actual Capitol is 500 feet wide by about 500 feet wide by about 300 feet tall. And the width is going to be 60 total base plates. So it's going to be 6 base plates by 10 base plates, which is 100 inches by 60 inches. Which doesn't the math doesn't really work out, but it's what I based it all off of, and I also kind of based everything off of a single door, like a single door is 1 brick wide. So if you have 1 door and 1 door, that's 1 brick, and then there's like a brick in between. So base that, and then just kind of built all the way around that, and then use that as the scale to build up. So it took a little trial and error to get it to where I wanted it. The problem I'm running into now, and I had some help. I had some nice people come over, part of our Lego group. They also, the lady was one of the bigger donors of stuff so far too. she helped. Her and her son came over one night and helped build a lot of this stuff. So basically, there's no way to make instructions for this either. There's 62,000 pieces. There's no way to make instructions for it. I would be doing that for the rest of my life. What you can do is, and this is kind of what I was doing before. Let's see if I can move this without screwing up the angle too much. And it's sitting on a big TV over in the corner. I've used it as a monitor so everybody can see it. But then what we'll do is we'll just hide, and then just build that. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is just building the footprints around it. Yeah, it's roughly Legoland scale building. It's going to be, it's going to be huge, I'm not going to lie. And it's going to be split up into 5 strips so we can get it out the door. Hopefully we'll get it done in time for BrickFiesta, which is at the end of July, or at the beginning of July. It's July 4th weekend. Hopefully it'll be done by then. And then after that, it's going to live at the visitor center for the Capitol, and it's going to live there. They've got a display that they're building for it. It'll live there for a few years. So that's very exciting. And it's going to act kind of as an advertisement for BrickFiesta, for the big convention here in Texas. We'll add stuff to it. We'll add plaques and stuff that say "Brought to you by TexLug," as seen at, wow, the words. Once displayed at, or however the wording is, at BrickFiesta. So it becomes sort of a way for people to go into the Capitol, see the building, see the Lego set, see who brought or who built it, the names of the people who were involved, and then, oh, BrickFiesta, what's that? And then they look it up and say, oh, it's a Lego convention, and it's in Dallas, and then it's San Antonio, and then Austin, and then Houston. It rotates around the state. Take it easy, Lego Geek. Thanks for stopping by. So that's what I'm going to be working on for the next couple months, and hopefully I can get some time set aside for more microfighters. And I've got another thing I want to get building, my RQ4, which I'm a little upset. The lady I designed it for, I guess I could call her a friend now. We met on Facebook and met in person. She's nice. She was on the Nailed It Cake show, and this build was for her. Her wife is an Air Force pilot who flies the RQ-4s remotely. And so she asked that I build that for her. And that was about 600 pieces, and I made the instructions for it and everything. So I'm going to get more pieces for it and build it myself. I'm not able to open up that Capitol all the way because this computer just won't handle it. So if you're just joining us, happy May the 4th. And we're going to be doing, now this is the RQ4 in case you're curious. This is the set that I designed for a friend, and I have the instructions for this. I kind of want to put it on Rebrickable, but at the same time I want to build it first because it worked well in Studio, but again, there's no gravity in Studio. As much as I tried to shore up these wings with Technic builds and kind of plate on plate to keep it stiff, it's, they're like 56 studs wide. So I mean, it's a real struggle to make sure that those wings don't droop. And if they do, you just put some, trans clear bricks on the tips of the wings out here to kind of hold it up. No big deal. Nobody's going to fault you for that. So I've got about half of these. I needed to order the rest of them before then, but it's about $100. So if you're seeing that and you're new to the channel, I will have a donate link in the description as well. It goes to PayPal. If you like the channel and you like seeing microfighters being designed and you like seeing stuff being built, please don't hesitate to donate $1 or $2. I will buy my own beer. The beer is all mine. But if you like seeing Lego stuff build, drop a dollar or $2. It also goes towards, I've got about 50 or 60 instructions on Rebrickable. And if you like those, you can download those. And again, they're done for fun, but if you'd like to donate for that, links in the description. Help a brother out, that'd be great. I appreciate it. So, all that aside, we wasted about 30 minutes talking about that. I'm gonna just kind of chit chat and finish the rest of this because I'm not really sure how to yet. But again, if you want, let me know what you think the next ship that we design or that I designed should be. I've got a list, and let's see if I can pull that up again. The list is extensive. Ship list. So I mean, I've invested entirely too much time into this endeavor. If I had put in as much time as I do into this, into other things in my life, I think I would be a lot better as a human being. But you can see these are the official sets that Lego has made and put out, and I have all those. These are sets that I didn't have because I got into the minifigure game a little late, or the Microfighter game a little late. So I just ordered the parts for these. These are ones that are official, but I don't have, especially this one. This is the mystical Jack 14 figure that costs like $40 or something. And any set that he's in is immediately double or triple the amount that it's worth. There was a San Diego set for him as well. There was a smaller set with him. But there was this Microfighter set that was kind of like, you know, it not only was it an exclusive, but now the figure is worth a lot because you can't get that anywhere else. The Sith Infiltrator, I would bet, would be kind of annoying to some people because they may have gotten it at the San Diego Comic-Con, and then Lego went ahead and put an actual set out. So that's kind of frustrating. And it's actually a little better than the original. I might still build the original, but anyway. So I've got a ton of them already designed, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I've linked to all of these. These are all my designs. These are designs that I found from other people that I've reverse engineered. There's not as many. There's about 35 or so. And these are the two designs. These are the ones that I'm working on. This one obviously is the one we started a couple weeks ago and I haven't finished yet. But if you see any of these, the link is in the description to this Google document page. You can take a look at this and let me know if you like any of these ships. TIE fighters are actually pretty easy to do because we can just take the TIE ball and, you know, change up the wing configuration a bit, and that's always kind of fun to do. And some of these are actually there's a couple of these that are only Lego sets. They only appeared as a Lego set. This Jedi Scout Fighter is one. It really didn't exist until Lego did it, and I think it came from like the Young Jedi, or it may have been the Yoda Chronicles or something like that, where it was a young kid's story, but I think it was only told on Cartoon Network or something for a very short while. And there are some things that came out of it that were never actually toys or anything. But if you look up Jedi Scout Fighter, there's only Lego sets. Like I don't see the Wikipedia article is even, this was a set that was made by Lego, or this was a ship made by Lego. And you can see a lot of these are just variations on different capital ships. Some of these are kind of weird older shuttles. A lot of stuff from the Knights of the Old Republic, that kind of era. These are all going to be the Yuzon Vong stuff. Those are going to be very hard to do because those are very organic. So anyway, but here's, you know, and any uglies. I've done a whole thing on uglies where I basically built, and I may show this later. I'll put that in the notes so we can talk about that. But I basically built a studio file that's all, this is the X-Wing body, this is the Y-Wing body, this is the whatever, you know, just the bodies of everything, and then the wings of everything. And then you can mix and match. So if you wanted to do a Y-TIE ugly, you could get the ball of the TIE fighter with the Y-Wing pontoon engines on the back. You could do an X-Wing with TIE Interceptor wings, which is actually pretty cool looking. If you want to do any of those, you know, that's available. Just ask me and I can put those up somewhere. I'm also doing the Star Wars Resistance ships, and I've done the Fireball already and the Black Ace. The Black Ace was a stream that we did a while ago, so that was cool. That was a lot of fun, and I think it turned out really well. But there's still all these Ace ships, and some pirate ships, which I think for the most part are just uglies, you know. Got to redo that Mandalorian fighter, and then I'm going to try to get into maybe some non-Star Wars stuff. And these are just some of the ships that I was thinking of doing. And again, a lot of these were done by people when the microfighter craze hit back in 2014. If you just look up like Battlestar Galactica or USS Enterprise or whatever microfighter, there's going to be a lot of them in there. I'm going to try not to look at them. I'm going to try to do them myself, just to kind of have that going on. So that's it. And if you see this in the chat and you'd like one of those ships, then just let me know. We're going to close this out, close the brick link out, and we'll get back to studio. So again, this is the Starforge. We worked on this a while ago, a couple weeks ago. I'm basically struggling with how to get these guys filled in. The wings here are fine. I'm gonna, I'm okay with leaving them as is, but there's no noodle, or there's no macaroni that's in this shape, that's in this 3x3 cone shape. In fact, there's very few things that will be this size. So now we have to kind of come up with something that is curved, but not exactly that fit in there, because this is actually just a perfect sphere. So we need something to cover it up so you can't really see the internal workings, or we have to come up with I have to come up with a different way to attach 3 wings in this configuration, which I don't think that's gonna work without that in it. So let's see. And this is obviously not full screen because I can't see some of the... All right, so if I lose anybody on that, let me know, because or I lose the camera, because the full screen bit will kind of jack some things up. And again, this may not be the most stable configuration, but some of these I may not care that it's stable. I just will kind of want it to be I want it to look. I want the right look. So let's at least put this in her hand. Oh wait, I've turned off. Oh, here's the other thing. When I'm working with the Capitol, it's such a big building that I have to turn off the software's desire to snap bricks into place, or show me that something's colliding. That's not going to be enough to turn, because if I don't, then the software will basically just crap out. It's really kind of funny. It's so big that it won't even... Okay, come on. Why aren't you snapping on there? All right, what is the dealio? Wow, really? What is with this hand? Oh, sometimes body parts just are infuriating in this software. Like they lose the memory of what they're supposed to be doing. So, welcome to Saturday night, everybody. I'm hoping you're having a good May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Lamenting the loss of Peter Mayhew. Oh, goodness gracious, this is ridiculous. Why is that not effing working? There we go. Goodness gracious. So that's a really big lightsaber, first of all. I don't think anybody would really have that big of a lightsaber, but Bastilla Shan has that, at least to begin with, she has that giant lightsaber. It's a dual lightsaber, but I mean the handle is just ridiculously big. I don't know how anyone wields that, knowing that either end could basically slice your knees off if you're spinning it too much. More than likely, when I actually build this, I'll just keep it like Darth Maul's, or I'll keep one side of it. You know, I'll just keep one blade or one handle and then knock that off. But I still think it's better like that. So, moving on. Trying to think if there's anything else we can talk about while we're designing here. So. And again, we ran into this problem where it's fine back here because it's symmetrical, right? I can put something back here, but here is it's off by it's a third, it's a third, it's a third. So I almost feel like I want to do, I just had a thought. Arch. It's very Moriarty from Star Trek of me. Computer, arch. What does that look like? Not awesome. But the idea isn't bad. That's actually, look how well that matches. Like if I could just jam that in there, that would actually work really well. Nope, not the right way. So the music that we're listening to is DJ Cutman. Give his channel a sub. Yeah, if I could stick that in there somehow, that'd be not bad. And then I could kind of do the same thing on the back here and kind of just, let's try something. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do 1x2 tile. So if you're just joining us, we've been talking about some microfighter builds and Star Wars in general, but if you're new and you haven't, I've also been mentioning some of the Texas Capitol that I've been working on, the 62,000 piece Texas Capitol. If you haven't seen it and you want to, I know if you watch this again later, you'll see it, but behind me, and maybe I can kind of click over to it real quick, is the, you can see it back here. That's the build. That's the model. It's huge. It's going to be 5 of those sections wide. That's just the east and west wing. That's not the center and 2 of the hallways. So it's going to be pretty big. But yeah, that's where we stand on that. So we're going to go back to this and keep working on this. I am a little worried that I'm not going to get it done in time. I know that we have a lot of people in the user group who are like, no, we'll get it done. Don't worry about it. But at the same time, it's 62,000 pieces, and I know I keep saying that number, but it just seems so insurmountable. And I'm going to save this so I can kind of show you guys. Save and close. I'm just going to harp on this because I feel like I need to talk about why I'm so freaked out about this. The sidewalk tiles are 1x1 tiles, and they're in parquet formation. They're checkerboard, and you can see that here as this is loading. So the full way around, we ordered and received now 11,000 of those. 5,500 light gray, 5,500 dark gray. And there's just a ton of them, and it takes a long time to put these individually in, right? So that's a bit of work, but that's work that can be done mindlessly. It can be done by friends who aren't Lego people. You can just kind of create the white space around it and say, hey, do this for me. Do you want to help? You said you wanted to help. Fill in this sidewalk. But there's only so much you can do with that before it's like people still want to help, but there's not much that they can do, because you've got a lot of actual weird building to do at that point. And this is kind of where I'm at now, where I'm trying to do a basic footprint, so then I can have people help. I can have build parties where people can come over, and without printed instructions, I can say, yeah, here's how you do a wall. Here's one section of wall that you can do. It goes this brick, this brick, this brick, this brick, right? Or this, it's this pattern, and it just goes all the way up. And we get to this point, you know, what I have to do is have everybody have this software, and then tell them, and then split it up and say, work on this section. You know, this is all I want you to work on right now. Or just say, okay, this is how we're going to do this. How does everybody want to do this? So this is my problem, is I'm to this point, and it's barely in, you know, I've gotten to, you know, this kind of layer right here. And I don't know what I was doing when I kind of designed this. The idea was to have sort of a corner of this pillar. If you've seen the state capitol building, it's got these pillars that go down, and then they come out slightly, and then they go all the way down, which is really hard to do, to replicate in Lego. I think the cheese wedge pieces, the 1x1 slopes, are just too big. So I tried to kind of subtly do it with jumpers, but it just meant like the internal structures of these are just a mess, right? Like there's nothing in here. It's hollow, you know, on this side. And then the problem is you go over here and it's not hollow. I built it differently. These are, you know, solid 2x2 bricks. It's a 2x6 brick, but then you come over here and it's these profile bricks. So I mean, I'm really frustrated at myself at how I handled this. I think I wanted to go back and change all these to profile bricks, but I didn't. So there's that. So I also wanted to say happy birthday to Cease. It's her birthday, and I'm sorry we're not there. We just got back from Houston, and we're kind of tired, and I'm barely hanging on to do this. But happy birthday, happy Cease de Mayo. She has a party every year, and I think I've lately been able to make it, just not this time. Again, Ruby Redbird by Shiner. This is kind of their standard yearly releases. That it was a pretty standard release, or a summer release, yearly kind of thing. And now I think it's you can get it any time, but I'm not sure. It might be just a summer. But one down. I'm gonna open the other one. Again, Barks for Beers. I think I put that in the description. As a charity organization that does, I'm gonna flip this over to the big camera. A charity organization that does, called Divine Canines, and they, all the money goes towards training animals to help with medical needs people, and that's the organization that does it, Divine Canines. So, and they give you a passport at the beginning of the year, and for each of these breweries that you go to, you get a stamp, or they write on it, and you get a glass. You get a pint glass. It's $30. You get a pint glass and this passport, and then you go to the places and get a free beer. So it goes to a good cause, and meanwhile you're drinking most of May away. It's not bad. But again, happy birthday to Cease. Thank you for being a friend, and I'm sorry we couldn't be there. I hope you have a good time today. So this is frustrating to me, and I may do more of this later. I may talk about this more later. I'm mad at myself for the inconsistencies of this. Like I do this bit, and then I have to cover it with a plate, but I can't get to the plate unless I do, build these things over it, and I'm not even sure that holds up really well. It's just, I don't know. I'm really frustrated at myself for how messy this is, which is why I feel like it's gonna take a really long time to build. Once I get past these corner bits and these pillar-based bits, I think it'll go a little faster. But even then, it's gonna be like, all right, hide this, go up a level, hide it, go up a level, hide it, and just kind of do as is, So, let's see. Anything else talking about? La la la. So let's go back to, I'm gonna not save that. This is gonna eat up the computer, by the way. Anytime I open that up, you can just hear it drag down. Am I on the right? Nope. I'm gonna go back to this. All right. So, sorry, I was texting somebody who had messaged me at the time. So let's go back to this stupid thing. I'm really kind of bummed about how this is not being a friend of mine. Like I'm not sure how to make this work now. I mean, this gives me kind of an idea of how to do it, but I don't know how to make that stay in there. You know, it's kind of a good fit. Oops. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, that's a good size. And then if we were to doop 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 doop. So that covers it up kind of nicely, right? Oh, this soundtrack is just killing it tonight. It's so great. So that's not bad, but again, how do I get it? How do I attach it to anything? I might be able to do some. Oh, you know what? I might be able to do a 1x1 bracket. Let's try that. So if I move this out, 1x1 bracket. These are gonna, and this is, you know what? This is the way I get into trouble. This is the way I got into trouble with the capital. Is I was like, well, this works, but it's so goofy that I don't know if it'll actually work in real life. You know? So, you know, not bad, not awesome, but I almost feel like let's just do it and get it done, and that way I can move on to other things. I've got a couple of these where I'm like, nah, I'm not really happy about it, but it's not terrible. So flip that bad boy over, we'll put that guy in there, and see, it covers it up nicely there. So from the front, which may be all we're worried about, bam, Starforge, right? Looks great. And save. Done. Don't even want to look at the back because the back has a big hole in it. But we kind of have, I have an idea of what to do here. So we're going to take one of these, and we're going to take one of these, and we're going to flip them, and we're going to do another brick, or we're going to do another bracket. And I think we might overlap these guys because I can put these in at an angle. C'est ça. Nope. I'm wondering if I can just kind of. That's not great. Oh, I can turn it though. See, here's the cheat. I've done this before. Oh, nope. I did this on the, and here's the problem, is I turned it out here, but as soon as I try to put it in here, it's going to turn it back. So I did this with the, Lucre Hulk ship, and I basically painted myself into a corner because I had this sort of weird angle for it all, but I see a light at the end of the tunnel because I'm going to turn this, nope, turn that, and then get another one of these guys. And do this. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's good. This is a lot of just do it to get it done kind of thing, but there we go. Nope, I always do that. Haha, that's really kind of gross. I'm not happy with that. So, and again, this is another color that's really kind of hard to see on the, maybe it's just the brightness, I don't know. So I don't like that at all. Delete. Maybe if I move this guy in and do 2 of them again. I don't know if it's going to be able to rotate out far enough for me to be able to make it of any use, and it will not. So see how it's running into that? So that's not going to be any good. Although that's the exact kind of location. I actually need it to be right about here, and I can't rotate it there because it's bumping into, and I'm pointing at it like you can see me point. It's bumping into this, which is the thing that's holding the thing together. So maybe what happens if I rotate it here? 45, come on. Nope, and you can see it automatically collides with whatever's back there. So this is gonna be a problem. This works well enough on the outside here. It's not a perfect sphere, but there's still a gap here. I wonder if I can, oh, you know what? Just had an idea. 2 by 2 slope. Where's that rounded slope? Buried it. Bam. Yeah, much better. So that gives it a bit more of a nice curve to it. Hopefully, oh, nuts. How close is that? Is that really close? That's hard to tell. Yeah, that's, you know what? This is one of those builds that might be like, if I rotated that, where is that guy? If I rotated him like, oh, that's bumping up against it too. Let's see if I can rotate it. Like, nope, other way. And then I have to do this though. And sometimes you just need to do that. Now I need to cram that piece back in here. So this is going to be something that you're not going to be able to like put in an instruction thing. It's like I'm not going to be able to say, and then rotate it 5 degrees. So it's not an ideal thing. 180, 185. Ja, yeah. All right, good. So 5-degree rotation, and that's kind of spherish, right? And again, the whole reason it's this size, the whole reason it's like that, is because we have that Technic spindle in there that's a 3-way spindle, so we can get the wings like that. Because I don't know how else to get wings to do that at that scale. But again, we got to fill in this back area now and make it look very similar to this. I have an idea. Just had an idea. Oh wait, no, I want that bracket back. Bracket. So here we can do this. And then we can do one of these guys. That's not bad. Can I get it farther back there, maybe? Let's see. Can I move it farther back? All right, so that's good. I can get them farther back in there, and then maybe a plate. So at this point, I'm designing for look and not stability. Stability may, oh man, that's great. Stability may come later when I'm building it myself, and I realize that it doesn't work. Oh, look at that. I think that's done. Look at that, y'all. I'm really happy with that. I'm going to see if I can get the, that's still a little visible and I'm not really liking it too much, but I think in general, you know what? This wasn't one of the ones that I really was looking forward to anyway, so I think the fact that it's gotten to this point where it's got a cylinder in the middle of it, kind of, and it's got one of these things on 3 sides, and it's equally 3 sides, and it's not horrid looking around the edges, I'm gonna call that a win. I don't like the way she's sitting in here, but I don't, to make it any bigger, it's 92 parts. To make it any bigger, I think would be kind of a throwaway at this point. So let's save it. And let's talk about the fact that I like using the phrase we and us, and it's just me sitting here. And, you know, whoever else views this. We, us. Cheers. All right, so that's done. What are we gonna do the next 20 minutes? So let's flip back to, since nobody's put anything in the chat about what they wanna vote for in terms of ships, let's just look at our list. My list, the list. So let's say this one's done, all right? That one's done. I saved this on the Google Docs link that I had earlier and it's not updating. So this one's gonna be interesting, the DH Omni. This is gonna be another big one. And also Ponkrell is one of these characters that is a minifigure that has 2 torsos and has 2 arms. He's not like Rio Durant that has just 2 arms, and I need to get that figure because I've got a microfighter design of the AT hauler. But Ponkrell actually, let me see if I can find a picture of him, is a, and I don't even know what alien he is, but he's this like super tall dude, right? And there's actually a figure for him. So here's like the figure that he has. Now the problem is it's a Lego build torso, right? So it's gonna be legs and then like a brick and then a torso, and the arms are kind of funky on either side. I honestly don't know. I've never seen that figure before, but him sitting in a microfighter would look really weird. Coupled with the fact that the DH Omni is a giant like split sphere, which I think might be fun to make, but I think we may run into the same problem as we just did with the Starforge. But at this level, I don't think I have to worry too much about, like, I can probably split it a little bit, or if I add this, sometimes it gets rid of all the other junk. You know, that's a good, because it's a CIS ship, but it's like a supply ship. It's like a big GR75 or something. But it's split a little bit, so I mean, let's just go ahead and start. I've got nothing better to do with this right now, and nobody's really said anything, so let's do it. So this is going to be those quarter round bricks. I think it's a 3x3 too. I'm not even going to try to do a minifigure of him. I'm just gonna kind of build an area that a minifigure would go in because he's got, that is a very interesting minifigure. So why do I not see, there we go. So there's that. And these guys are gonna be rotated. So let's do a couple of them. I should probably just group them all together and then rotate it. So there's one hemisphere. 2, 3, 4. Okay. This might be a bit small considering he's going to sit in the middle of it, but you know, we'll see. I don't know if there's any other like quarter spheres or quarter round spheres that I think would work as easily. Yeah, this is the same one. I'm trying to think if something was slightly bigger because what's going to happen is, oops. We're going to put this one here. We're going to turn, nope, go away. We're going to flip this one over and put him underneath, or him on top. And we're going to do up, 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 and then up, 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 and up, 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 up. So there you go. There's one side. And then flip him over. Oh, wait. And make him go up, 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 up. Over, 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 over. Ta-da. And then over, over. All right, so he's all lined up, right? Okay, brilliant. Turn him around and put him over here. All right, so now we have the basic shape, right? That's what we're looking for. Ta-da! Isn't that spectacular? Okay, so I can't really tell if it's supposed to be a sphere. It's one of these where, is it a sphere if this part was put together, right? Like, is it? It looks like it's stopped short, like it's a sphere that had this bit cut out, and not a sphere that was then pulled apart. So it's, you know, it's like this, and then they just remove this section, or it's this. It looks like it's more of a like that, which this isn't going to be because this is coming together too much. But basic shape, right? And again, we're left with the how do we attach the top and the bottom here, because it's got the tubes and the grips on the undersides where they're meeting, so we're going to have to be creative with that. And it also looks like it's not that wide in the middle, but I think we can get a bit creative with the markings are going to be a little bit interesting, and I have an idea. It's a 1x3x3. Nope, 1x2x3. There's one that's curved. Curved brick. Let's just do curved brick. There it is. Ta-da. Okay, and this one we can make blue. And I don't remember what color. I think whatever one's available, because it's not, this one's not going to be available for, it's not going to be sand blue, it's not going to be medium blue, it's not going to be blue violet. Okay, so this is where we have to go. All right, find that piece for me, and then we'll just see what its known colors are. I keep drinking out of the wrong one. I don't want pink, that's for sure. Let's see, what color blues do they have? Dark blue, medium azure. Oops, really? That's it? Medium azure, light blue. All right, this may not have CIS markings then. Let's just pretend. Because if it doesn't, then we're left with, no, that one doesn't. No, it totally does. There's a certain color for CIS markings that's sort of like a sand blue. It's not really a sand blue. It's like it's a color that this piece doesn't exist in. So we may not use the piece, or we may have to. This is just a thought. But the thought was, in order to get those markings, or a suggestion of those markings, we put this guy in the middle here, like that. But then again, that becomes, it's actually not too bad. That makes it a little bigger. It gives it more of a round shape rather than sort of a flattened shape. And, but again, it's going to be more stuff that, it's going to be more stuff we have to put together in between here. But you know, that's not terrible. But it doesn't exist in that color, so I don't, you know, now I don't know what to do. What happened to that? Oh, known color. Yeah, so these are the known colors for that part, and light blue or medium azure. So let's see how that looks. Light blue. That's almost indistinguishable from gray. Or medium azure. I don't even think medium azure exists in here. What color is medium azure? That's weird. Is there a color code for that? Well, this is BrickLink. This would be... All right. So no, this doesn't exist in that part, so we don't have to deal with it. All right. We could do like, we could get complicated with it, and we're gonna increase the part count, which, hey, I'm all for. We've got about 15 minutes left. Let's just play a little bit. So 2x1 slope, and I want the curved one, right? And what we can do is then do 2 of these, like so, and then do a 1x1 brick. Oh wait, brick stud. So this will give us, typing in the 1x1 brick stud will give us that guy, which will allow us to do this with a 1x1 plate. And this is going to get fancy and probably overly complicated, but I hear a door. Is there somebody behind me? Hello? Well, I heard a door. I can only assume it was you. Since nobody in the chat is in this house and making me all spooked. So let's see how this lines up. It might work, but then I have to figure out if that part comes in that color. And then we also have to go 1x1 brick. Nope, 1z1. That's not how that works. Dear BrickLink, at BrickLink, make it so when I grab a part off the pallet, it actually drags to the workspace. I'm getting really tired of that. Grab. Very good. All right. Nope, that's too tall. So let's do 1x2 plates. Hey everybody, how's it going? We got 2 people in chat. Who's this other person? Welcome, other person. What's your name? Where you from? What you drinking? What is your affiliation with Lego? Are you a awful? Are you a T-full? Are you an occasional fan? Oh, that's actually not terrible. What do you think? Oops. What is that? How's that look? See, because, I mean, every one that we look at has got some sort of weird, like, thing or seam. Oh, that's a thing. Nice. So, I mean, we can get away with that. And we can color these guys a different blue. These guys, I know, are in a fun blue. Blue violet. That would be the ideal blue, right? Blue. So I wonder if like Star Wars CIS blue, if there's like an official Pantone. That I can use as a scale for this, because I've only ever done, I've colored two other vehicles CIS colors. One of them was a Gozanti Cruiser. Oh, that's another one I need to redo. There's a Gozanti something C Cruiser or something, and I need to redo that. So that's the official color. I would think that the information is here somewhere, but that looks like, I don't know, kind of a violet color. So let's see what happens when we do this. Dark blue violet. That doesn't work. That conflicts. Dark blue. Hey, look at that. You know what? We're keeping it. So when I did the other AAT, the CIS tank, the AAT, I think I did this color too. So you know what? This works. I like this. So here's the fun part is now we're going to get rid of all these guys. See ya. And we're going to make you the default. Up. Make them about that far apart. And then we'll do up. And then we can figure out how to put these guys together. So if you're just joining us, happy May the 4th. Welcome. I hope you're properly eulogizing, memorializing, remembering Peter Mayhew on this sad May the 4th weekend, tragic loss. And so here's some to Peter. Mr. Mayhew. Again, I met him, but I wasn't friends with him or anything. I just met him at a convention and got a autographed picture, like many other people probably. And he seemed very nice. And I was glad to have met him and to say I have met him before he, passed on. I was never able to meet any other. And the fact that I was at a comic book convention and he wasn't mobbed was a little sad. And I get that this was in the middle of prequel era kind of stuff, and they hadn't really done any re-release of the original trilogy since '97. But, the fact that the line for his table wasn't just incredibly long was, I was upset by that. Oh, you know what I didn't do? 1x1 plate. So anyway, I hope you're watching Star Wars in some fashion. I know that TBS usually runs their marathons. If you have cable, you can watch it. If not, you can, download it, put in your VHS tapes or your DVDs and watch it however. Play some video games, wear your Star Wars t-shirts, what have you. Let's do, this is 3 apart. Does that look right? That could be farther apart. Maybe. That could be farther apart. Nah, I think that's good. That's a good shape, right? So let's go ahead and save this. File save as DH Omni. I'm gonna have to go back and do a stupid Pong Krell figure for this. And again, that guy is weird. And I don't think they have, you know what? Let's look real quick. Pong Krell. Krell Lego. Let's see if anybody shows what his torso looks like. If we can tell. Because I want to kind of recreate it in... Oh, it looks like it's a little half torso. on top of an actual torso. Wow, that's a really interesting thing that they built. Yeah, no one's like taken it apart to show. Oh, here's kind of a... Yeah, it looks like this may be just a single piece that... It may be part of the head. Interesting. There's no way I'm going to be able to recreate that in studio, but, you know, it's good to kind of know. Because I'll need to eventually buy this guy. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it looks like it's one piece. Interesting. So since this is 3 across, what we're probably going to have to do is jumper it at some point to get a nice 2x2 in the middle here. And then, as much as I hate doing this, oh, you know what? These are 1x1s. I'm going to make this complicated by making these Technic bricks, I think. Technic bricks. Okay, so we're running out of time. For those of you who are watching this later or who are in the chat now, I appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. My name's Ben. This is Ben's Brick Designs. Every week I work on Star Wars Lego designs to do microfighters, but I'm also going to be showcasing some other builds that I'm doing, some other designs, including the giant capital I'll be working on in the background here. You can see that on my Instagram, which is in the description, as well as all my rebrickable designs. I've got about 50 or 60 of those. If you have questions about anything that I'm designing, I have a Google Doc with all my microfighters in it, as well as some fantastic other designers. I think that's about it for this week. Next week, if you see this later, put a comment in about which of the ships that you'd like us to work on or like me to work on. Or I went last week and went through the parts that I've already pulled aside for other builds. Some other stuff that I have some parts for but need to buy more off BrickLink. And if you'd like to see one of those being built live, we could do that as well. Next week probably should be the Geonosian fighter. If I'm here, I think the next 2 months are going to be really crazy. I'm going to try to stream at least a little bit every week, but I've got like kid graduations coming up, a lot of end of year concerts. Both of my kids are in band, so they're going to be doing that. So my time's tied up there. I'm going to be building the Capitol. I'm going to be buying stuff for another build for BrickFiesta. I'm going to be redoing the owl stuff. So if you catch any of this, I appreciate you stopping by. If you've got any pointers or input or anything, just leave them in the comments, and I try to answer people as soon as I can. So it was good hanging out with you, and have one for Peter Mayhew, and may the force be with you.